I just recorded this entire thing, got done with it, and then realized it wasn't recording the entire time. And it was like a 30-minute long review. So we'll try to do it again. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? My name is Alex, and this is a little thing that we call Jabber. Like I said, I just did this, and I wasn't recording. I was recording audio, just not the video. So that's a goddamn bummer. Anyway, before we get into this, just be sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video. Oh, subscribe, like, notification bell. I guess this is a bell. Anyway, hit all three of those. It helps me out. It might help you out in the future. Who knows? We meaning me. I do reactions, reviews, bullshit, just stuff like that to anything. Movies, TV, games, really doesn't matter. Anything I feel like reacting to and reviewing. That's what we do here. So there it is. That's out of the way. I was going to do a pros and cons review about episode 4 last week, but I didn't really feel like I needed to. And I got busy with work, so I just didn't do one. That's why I'm doing this one, because this one was at least a little bit more interesting. And I'm getting busy with work again. I got to go shoot something like an hour and a half away, and I want to get this out of the way and upload it before I have to leave to go do that. So if this seems like a speedball run, it is a speedball run. So basically, if you have no idea what pros and cons are, I make a list of the pros that I liked about the episode or movie, and the cons, the things I disliked about the show or movie that I'm talking about. So there you go. Episode 5 of the Acolyte dropped on Tuesday. I know I'm a couple days late, but hey, it lets me marinate on it a little bit more. My reaction's out. You can check that out. I'll put it in the comments, or I'll link it below somewhere. If you haven't seen the episode, I suggest that you watch it if you're watching it. If not, and if you don't care, then whatever. I'm going to be spoiling it. So there you go. If you're concerned about that sort of thing. Let's just jump right in. All right, the first pro, the things that I liked. We'll get these out of the way. I still think that the music is one of the most decent parts of the show. I don't hate it. I've seen a lot of people complain about the music in this show, and I don't really know why. It's better than most of the shows. I think the only one that does the music better is Mando. I haven't really been that impressed with the music at all through any of the shows. So maybe Andor too. I liked Andor's music, but the music here, it's fine. It works. It works for the tone of the show. So they're doing something right on that regard. Yeah. This is probably the biggest thing about this show, or this episode in particular, and why it stands out. And that's because the action is actually pretty good. Now, I'm not somebody who needs action to sell me on an episode. I watched all of Andor and loved it. Even the slow episodes that people complained about that being too slow. The difference is Andor is well written and has good dialogue. This does not have good dialogue and is not well written. But at least the fight choreography for this episode in particular was very good. And you got to call it how you see it. You know, even in things I don't like, there's a good fight, and the fight takes up like 20 minutes of the episode. It was good. There's some cool stuff that happens, I will admit. When Queermere stabs the one Jedi in the chest, then Force pulls another Jedi into the same blade, stacks them up. That was cool. I like that. That was a cool move. The way Queermere stabs his lightsaber through Daphne King like a bowling ball. I like that. That was cool. I also enjoyed his helmet and how it actually is. It has a function and a purpose to it. Unlike Kylo Ren or really anybody, even Vader, his helmet didn't really have any purpose besides keeping him alive. This actually has a practical purpose. Motherfuckers headbutting lightsabers and disabling them, which I thought was pretty cool. And I guess he has the same material in his arms. So that was cool. I'm in a comment war right now with somebody who thought I was bitching to bitch about a certain thing that happens, and we'll get into that when I get to my cons, but it's kind of funny, and I don't know, I gotta bring it up. The other thing I liked, let's see. Oh yeah, that stupid little, that non-binary gopher. I like him. I don't know what it is. Last week's episode, he was probably the best part of the whole episode. Was that stupid little gopher, which, you know, we've reached a point in Star Wars where we got to give gophers they them pronouns, because God forbid that we misgender a tracker gopher. I don't know. Give that little dude a lightsaber. Make him force sensitive. I don't care. Give me more of that gopher. I like it. Caddyshack in Star Wars. Let's go. The last little thing that I had that I enjoyed is that they're killing everybody off. That makes sense. At least for, you know, on the Jedi on Coruscant, none of them should know that any of this is going on. Especially if Queermere admits that he's a Sith. None of them should be able to go back to Coruscant with that information, just for the continuity of the story going forward. It just won't make sense. Everybody has been pissed off about Ki-Adi-Mundi saying that the Sith have been extinct for over a millennia. That should stay that way. We don't need Sol even going back, because he's the sole survivor of this whole attack besides Osha. And he shouldn't even be able to go back to the Jedi Temple. Nobody should know. They should go out looking for him. And they also should get killed. I think every single Jedi that has appeared in the show needs to be just brutally murdered by this group of Sith, because there's going to have to be some repercussions to Queermere admitting that he is a Sith, which that almost makes me think that he's not. And if they go that way and he's just kind of like a poser dark Jedi, then fine. Maybe he's not a true Sith, because there's going to be repercussions of him admitting that his master's going to kill him or something, because they're supposed to be in the shadows until they're ready to reveal themselves. That's the whole point of the Rule of Two. And I don't know if he is part of this Bane line of Rule of Two. We'll see. This just automatically makes me believe a really dumb rumor that I heard, that his master is actually May and Osha's Zabrak mother, which I hate that. At least let it be Plagueis or something, because this isn't there. You can't have two separate groups of Sith unless they get wiped out by the true Sith, meaning Tenebris and Plagueis, unless they just get killed by them. Because there can only be two. One to harness the power, the other to crave it. That's the whole point. And if you don't like the Rule of Two, then whatever. That's not your thing. It's a cool concept. All right. It's something that I have known my whole life. All right. I've known the Bane line. I know how it goes. I love it. And that's just how it needs to be. Anyway, that's meant to transition us into this cons section of the review. The things I disliked. There's still dumb decisions being made here. Like not Daphne King. Osha using a stun gun. That's what I'm getting in an argument with this guy in the comments on the reaction to it, which is kind of funny. He's saying I'm bitching just to bitch. I'll let you guys be the determining factor if I'm bitching just to bitch about this. If you were in their situation and you just saw a guy deflect lightsabers with his forearms and then headbutt them to disable them, would your first move be using a stun gun on him? I don't even know if you would want to use a blaster on him, because that's just a dumb decision, I think. His argument is that she was doing everything that she could, or anything she could, to help her friends. Are they her friends? No. It's a dumb thing to write in there. If anything, a rock would have been more effective towards him. I don't know. I would have just ran away. If she ran away, I at least would have, respected her more. She could have ran away to get help and then died. Everybody has to die. That's the biggest thing. The acting in this show, and really this episode had some terrible acting, but the acting in the show overall has been awful. I have a friend of mine who argues that it's done on purpose, and if it's done on purpose, then that's just even worse to me. I don't know if it is or not. If it is, then that's a shame. But Amanda Stenberg is a terrible actress. I don't care. I think she's non-binary. It doesn't really matter. She's got tits. She's a terrible actress. Terrible. Whenever she's playing May and she's trying to be assertive and intimidating, you could kind of just laugh at her and destroy her ego, probably. She's not intimidating. She's a terrible actress. And even this, when she's playing Osha, the whole thing was terrible. And I don't know if maybe that was done on purpose to match how bad of an actor she is when she's playing May, because they swap. So now she's got to be terrible as Osha as May. I don't know. The whole thing is just dumb to me. The swapping places thing makes no sense, because how could they could swap, but she should have swapped and then went off on her own. How does Soul not sense that Osha is May? May can't be that powerful yet to disguise her true identity through through the Force. It just doesn't make sense. Soul should have picked up on her. I don't know. She can't just chop her hair off. There's still an essence there. He should be able to feel that something's off about her. And the same goes for Osha with Queermere. Queermere should have sensed that is obviously not Osha. Whether he cares or not, that's a different story, because he can just turn her and have her do exactly the same thing that he did to May. So I don't know. That didn't make sense. Also, May at the beginning, or the whole point of this fight is that May was gonna go against her master, right? And then go to the Jedi, turn on him, turn herself in, go to the Jedi, do all that. And then in this episode, she's just never mind. I'm make up your mind, all right, on what you want to do. Anyway, let's see. Sorry, again, I have all of them right here. I gotta look. My eyesight's not very good. This actually might be a nitpick, but so Queermere's lightsaber, how he can detach it at the top and it becomes two. How does that practically work? I kind of agree with the props department. Leslie Headland said that she went to the props department and asked them to indulge her in making this lightsaber that they said would practically just not work. And she said, indulge me, which means, do you want to work in Hollywood again? You'll do what I say. Which I think somebody's in the comments is mad at me again for bringing Dave Filoni into this. How dare you bring Dave Filoni into this? He's not, he has nothing to do with this god-awful show. This is Leslie Headland and Kathleen Kennedy. I'm Leslie Headland is show running, but she has to get approval from Dave Filoni. And then Dave Filoni has to pass that on to Kathleen Kennedy to get approved. Dave Filoni is signing off on all these dumb decisions. He has to. He's the head of creative. That is the whole fucking point of his position. So yes, you can blame Dave Filoni, but you can also blame both of those overly aggressive lesbians that pretty much run Lucasfilm on bullying him into approving everything that they want to do. I can't blame him entirely. I've said this before. I'm sure he's getting strong-armed and bullied, and it's like a role reversal. Because Leslie Headland used to watch Harvey Weinstein do this to women, so now she knows how to do it to men. And all they have to do is like, Dave, if you want to work in Hollywood again, you're gonna sign off on this. Otherwise, you see all these things that we can do, Dave, to destroy your career. You remember that? That girl that you looked at weird at Star Wars Celebration 5 years ago? This is all speculation. I don't know if this happened or not. This is all something this is a situation I'm making up. It's like, yeah, we could call her, pay her a lot of money to help us in ensuring that you never work in this business again. So you better sign off on this, Dave. He's being blackmailed by something, or just strong-armed. He's being intimidated, bullied by Kathleen Kennedy and her fucking dyke pants, even though I know she's married, but whatever. Leslie Headland's probably doing the same thing. They're just bullies now. I guarantee you. Just a bunch of overly aggressive women who are trying to bully everybody into making their stupid shows. So yes, you can blame Dave Filoni for not being a fucking man. I'd ruin my career by telling them to go fuck themselves. But anyway, yeah, so his blade just doesn't make sense. I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, you can detach. I like the design. It's cool, but how does it work? You would have to have two kyber crystals, right? Like one right where the energy source comes out of, and one down here in the hilt. It just doesn't make sense. Now, if it was double bladed and he detached it that way, then yes, that does make sense because they do that all the time. But how does it work? I just need to see like a blueprint design of how that works in order for it to make sense to me. But I mean, it's a cool lightsaber. I just don't know how does it work? And maybe I'm overthinking it. I mean, it is Star Wars, so how does anything work? But everything's pretty much had a practical sense to it. His helmet's practical. I don't understand the lightsaber. How does it work? Just somebody explain it to me. I think it's cool. I just don't know how it works. Again, that's a minor gripe, but that's really all I got. That's the review. I'm not really I'm no Chris Stuckman, but I didn't hate this episode. I think it's actually the best episode that they've done out of the show, and I've hated this show. That doesn't mean that it made the show better or it made the episode any better. It still has some really dumb writing in it. But I'll forgive it because the lightsaber fights were cool. The choreography was actually very well done and fluid. Unlike even the first episode. The first two, I thought the fights were obviously wooden and stringy and just gross. I don't know. I didn't like them. This felt good. It felt like real martial arts, which I enjoyed. So yeah. Oh, the last little thing. Queer Mirror's reveal. We all saw it coming. It wasn't a reveal. Somebody else in the comments was like, dude, you're acting like they were trying to keep it a secret. They were 100% trying to keep it a secret. If they weren't, he wouldn't have worn a helmet. He wouldn't have kept his identity from his apprentice this entire time. They wanted it to be like some fucking big, like, holy shit reveal. It wasn't. It's not at all. It wasn't a big reveal. It was stupid. It was so obvious. It was painfully obvious. They wanted to do the usual suspects thing, and it didn't work, dude. The writing is bad. Sorry. The writing is bad, but at least the fight was cool. If I were to rate it, I'd give it I'd give this episode like a 6, probably. It was all right. If it didn't, I don't know how it's going to go going forward. I'm sure it's going to get bad again, and you might have one cool episode. But at least the fights kind of helped muddle the bad writing. So anyway, that's the review. What do you guys think of this episode? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, hit that subscribe button, like this video, notification bell if you want. Do all that stuff. Make it happen. Make me grow my channel so I can get 1,000 subscribers by the 4th of July, and then we'll go from there. I don't think it's going to happen by the 4th, but, you know, a white dude can hope. So, anyway, until next time, sayonara. If I don't see you after or before the weekend starts, have a beautiful weekend.